You got your choice of 2 combines. What you going with here?
I thought I was the only one. Hey Bessie, we need that shade. Yeah, you should patent that. That's pretty nifty, pretty slick. So we're driving them to the corner here. They don't know yet that we've opened this gate so that they can access the sorghum Sudan grass over here and get to that shade. And there's Mitchell, our friend from Continuum Ag. And everything looks like this again. And that is flat, and some of it's turning brown, but even if it continues to grow there, I don't know how these guys are gonna be able to pick that up, or if they'll have to try, or I don't really know. Day 2 of my Iowa travels, and today's gonna be a little bit different. Right now, I am in southeast Iowa, in Washington County here. Washington County has a massive amount of cover crop acres. And I'm here with Mitchell Hora. Mitchell is the co-host with the Fieldwork podcast. He hosts that with me, which is probably the 2nd best podcast in the world.
Yeah, I thought we were going for we haven't got first
We're
yet.
getting there, yeah, we're climbing the ladder in a hurry.
We haven't launched season 3.
That's true, yeah. And let's be real, I mean, we can just say whatever it is and people will believe us. We are down here, we're gonna be visiting several farmers talking about what they're doing with conservation efforts down here. We're here with Rob Stout right now. We're actually standing on top of a bioreactor, which I always think sounds like some sort of an 80s hairband.
Yeah.
But really what it is it's a box of wood chips for water to filter through as it's leaving the fields to control the nutrients coming through that water. And so the natural process of the organisms within the wood chips eats away at the nitrogen within the water. Is that correct?
That's exactly correct.
What's the physical size of the bioreactor that's below us?
It's around 30 or 35 feet wide by 90 feet long, and it was 6 feet deep originally.
So is this where they'll actually take the samples to test the water coming through there? Okay.
I need to pull one more up.
Rob's got this big old long tool that he's going down to the bottom of the bioreactor, and it's got these little slides on it. And these slides are little stoppers for the water. Now he pulled that up, so now all the water is free to run out.
So he's speeding up the process.
Speeding up the process, but it's more so it's allowing the process to work correctly.
We are now at the 2nd part of our field trip here. We're over at Dave Moeller's shop, and he's just down the road from Mitchell here, not too far. But one of the things that he really specializes in is the equipment side of things, and making the equipment work for the operation that you're in and fine-tuning it to you. So we just had a really interesting conversation, recorded an episode of Fieldwork where we talked a lot about how the equipment can have a huge impact on what you're doing with your operation. So for example, like the no-till around us that we just haven't had good success with, they talked about some of the various changes that they've made to their planter, to the row units, to fit that system.
You got your choice of 2 combines. What you going with here?
We got the R62 and the SEP. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna take the green one.
Oh, you're gonna take the green one?
Yeah, I mean if I have to take one of them.
You're going with the wrong color. I'm sorry, Zach. That's just the wrong color. Silver all the way.
He's an expert, Zach. What are you?
Dave just gained a bunch of loyal fans though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of diehard gleaner guys out there.
There is.
We just talked to them for like 4 hours.
Yeah. We talked a lot about machinery and gleaners and planters and dialing it all in, and
everything.
It's simple.
And now Annie's gonna be mad at us. We're late.
We gotta go.
Where are we going?
I don't know. Follow me.
Okay. That was actually a fantastic conversation. That's gonna be a good podcast there. Just talking to these guys about how the machinery, the equipment you use on your farm has to be right for what you're trying to do. Otherwise, you're not giving it a fair chance. And so if you're gonna switch up your operation, you gotta make sure you have the networking, the education and the help and the know-how to really understand what you're doing and make sure you're making the right choices with the equipment instead of trying to completely change up your operation by using the same equipment. Mitchell, just feed him the cookie.
Oh, man.
That's Case. That's the dog that broke down last summer. Case, do you have anything to say? I thought I was the only one.
Ask him who he is. He's the fountain of knowledge. What do you want to know?
I don't know if there's enough room in my head to hold an entire fountain worth of knowledge.
I'm an expert. An X is a has-been and a spurt's a drip under pressure, so.
There. See, that was everything I needed.
There you go. Didn't know that before. Well, now that's like the thing. That's easier than until
So much easier. The weed control,
You need a rain, Mitchell.
We need some rain.
You do.
It's getting a little dry. A little dry. But it's coming along.
Yeah, okay. It looks okay right there.
Let's see if it's...
Oh, you picked a good one though.
No. This is an average year. We're gonna be just.
It's a baseball bat.
This is all of Iowa. There's no issues going on in Iowa.
Tell me what we're doing out here.
We already harvested mustard off of this farm. We're gonna plant a little bit of cover crop on it right now, just as kind of a trial run actually for this specific deal. We've never had mustard before. We've never drilled in cover crop this early. It's a little trial today. We had barley on the whole field. We harvested barley on July 2nd and we planted these beans on July 3rd. So it's a double crop. This up here was 17 acres of mustard that we already harvested. Now we're gonna plant cover crop on it, see what happens next year, but everything's a test plot.
Mustard stubble and grasshoppers. Little ones all over the place. There we go.
That fungus. That's what you want right there.
That's good fungus?
That's good fungus. It's awesome. Do you smell it?
I do.
That's that mustard.
That is, that's
It smells freaking terrible. Yeah, this is what you freaking want. Fungus. Ugh.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's nice to smell a little dirt being pulled up again, and it's just awesome. Beautiful day too. Mitchell, did you know we did 5 podcasts today?
Oh my God.
And not one helicopter came to get us.
Well, we saw the helicopter, but it just drove by.
It went by, it didn't see us sitting there doing a podcast.
Yeah, we had a long day.
We did.
Luckily, it's like 6:30, it's not 5 o'clock.
It's time for beer.
I like it.
Day 3 in Iowa. If you guys are interested in how the Fieldwork podcast works, this is how we do it now that COVID's a thing. What is that? The Fieldwork podcast here has officially set up in the middle of a cow pasture. That's how things are done around here.
I like it.
Just something that's evolved from 40 acres and a mule, you know, to where we're at now. And
well, we're done with our last podcast. I gotta walk in here. So we're right by Washington, Iowa right now. And from the road, obviously the damage looks pretty minimal here compared to stuff that is north and west of here. But when you get in here, you can see they definitely got some wind. Things are kinked over a little bit more inside the field, at least in this spot, than they are on the outside. But it's one-handed, but the corn is here. If you build it, he will come. I'm gonna leave the field. That was a Field of Dreams reference and an attempt at humor. So now you're done being a radio star, we're gonna farm for a little bit.
Start working now.
You're gonna start working, I'll hold the camera.
Well, I thought you were gonna do the work. We're getting ready to move cattle fence. The first thing we have to do is tear these poly wires down, utilize the wires and the reels and the fence posts for that to give them a fresh slice of forage in this warm season mix.
Oh, there's the goats.
They're going to town.
They are. You guys need to eat faster, you'll be able to find your way out of there.
Yeah, that metal wire's hot there.
See, I'm doing work.
So it's easier to have just one spot with the water.
You ever take this off any sweet jumps?
I mean, sometimes.
I'd put some in here. You can put a nice tabletop in here hidden in the sorghum.
I would like to.
You want to see a heel clicker?
Oh yeah. Here we go.
All right, do that again. Do it again. Oh, that's pretty good. This guy's flexible. You want me to hit it and dump Charlie?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think it'd be hilarious.
That would be funny.
You guys just wait right here.
Yeah, should we bring
Beer?
that too?
Well, yes, yes. Hey, Bessie, we need that shade. Yeah, you should patent that. That's pretty nifty, pretty slick.
I mean, I am an engineer, so
There you go.
that's fully,
Obviously.
fully designed right there.
Now they're hanging out in our recording studio.
Go on, get.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So we're driving them to the corner here. They don't know yet that we've opened this gate so that they can access the sorghum Sudan grass over here and get to that shade. And there's Mitchell, our friend from Continuum Ag. Now they're pumped. See if we can get an interview with this one right here. Excuse me. You want to talk to me just for a minute? No? All right, that was Michael Vidito of Long Creek Pastures, and I just want to say thank you, Michael. And we got a couple other quick stops to make before I head home. It's gonna be another late night, but my plan is to go see some more of the destruction through central Iowa. Stout seed sales.
Stout seeds, let's check it out.
It's like an episode of Cribs.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, this is Trent Stout at Stout Seeds, and according to him, this is where the magic happens. Explain to us what we're looking at here.
Well, I mean, we do a lot of our toting out of this contraption here. We got a scale hopper up top there. We just created a bypass. That's a seed treater. This is where all the processed seed will come into.
Gotcha.
So once it's cleaned through a cleaner, then we'll either bring it in and bulk hopper bottoms where we have the tanks outside for storage. They all feed into this scale here that we can tote out from, or we do small bags through this bagging line on the other corner.
Dig in there, Mitchell. Ooh.
OSHA approved ladder. Oh gosh.
With the hammer on top, just like OSHA wants.
This is for the hammers for that.
Ooh, look at that.
It's unbelievably improved.
That's pretty cool.
So the nice thing about these horizontal mixers is they don't damage the seed near as bad when you have things like peas and radishes with hard coatings.
Yeah.
This is like bulk rye. One of them might be wheat. One of them might be oats, but for the most part, this is rye.
This is the popular stuff. This is the majority of what people want. And this guy distributes to like retailers and stuff. He's loading trucks of blended
trucks or sourcing trucks that completely bypass this system altogether. Because when you're buying in volume for a majority of Iowa, it takes a lot of rye, and you got to know the right people, and that's what these guys do: is get on the phone and get the guy what they need.
One last stop before I head through the central part of the state again on the way home to see what's going on. We're gonna go try and make some kids' day. All right, guys, we got Blake and Tate and Jade. You know, Tate, I gave you a new hat last night to get rid of that Welker hat, and I see you switched hats again already.
Yes. These are our calves.
These are the calves.
We're going to show them at the fair, some of them, and then other ones. I don't know what we're going to do with. Probably just feed them out and sell them at the sale barn.
Which one's your favorite?
Bear.
Bear. Oh yeah, Bear's the one you told me about last night. What's the cat's name?
Cozy.
Cozy. She looks like she's cozy up there. That's a nice 4020. You get to drive that?
Oh yeah.
All the time?
That's what we run on the cultivator. We got the loader tractor.
Yep.
70, 30. Sweet
How many
corn,
acres of sweet corn do you plant?
Probably 1.5 acres to 2 acres.
Okay. Do you sell it then? Do you sell it locally?
No, we just we pick it for us, and then we, like, some of our family friends and stuff just come out and they pick it.
Good, you want some?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll buy a dozen.
You don't have to buy it.
Buy it. You have it for free. It's right there.
What do you have for a combine? S series?
S660.
660.
Big green dozer.
8440.
Yeah.
You drive that?
Yes.
Yes.
A matter of fact, 2 years ago I blew the motor in it.
Oh no. Did you change the motor out then?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a long day. And then there's the digger.
The digger? You call it a digger or a field cultivator? Field cultivator. You use that much?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit.
All over ground before we plant. Get
Do you?
started with it.
Level it off with that, huh?
Yep.
All right, guys. I need some sweet corn.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. Are those the best ones in there?
Sure.
Sure. Got my sweet corn now, so we can take that home and feed it to the rest of the family. So thanks Blake, Tate, and Jade for showing us around your farm. Now it's time for me to head home. So this part of Iowa that I'm in right now, from Washington, Iowa, north up to Iowa City, didn't see any damage from the storm, at least not from the road. There's some out there, but at least not from the road. What I could see more damage from is the drought. They need rain really bad. So I'm gonna keep heading north here to Cedar Rapids and see what that looks like in the daylight. I'm definitely gonna do some damage to this double Baco Chi. I am 10 to 15 miles west of Cedar Rapids, Iowa right now, just off of Highway 30. A lot of corn that looks like this. It actually looks worse from the road than it does standing here. There's not gonna be much here. Some of these plants looking okay, but there's no leaves left on the thing. So what this will mature into, I'm not sure. I would imagine for insurance purposes that they're probably gonna have to try to harvest this. Coming up the interstate to Cedar Rapids, that's about where I started to see damage like this, was just south of Cedar Rapids. I'm gonna continue heading west on Highway 30 for a while here and see what I can see, but there's a lot of devastation. The house a half mile down the road here, they're missing a couple of sheds, an old barn, a shed, a couple of grain bins. The trees are all tattered up. Everything is destroyed here. I mean, it's just, it is crazy. You look into the distance on the farm sites, there's almost in spots not a single building left with all of their roof. It's tough. I am standing in the back of my truck right now about 1 mile southeast of Zeering, Iowa. And I've gotten into an area where the corn looks worse again. As I came west down Highway 30, stuff actually looked a little bit better. The damage to the bin sites and to the sheds and the houses and the trees and the road signs and that wasn't nearly as bad, but the crops were still down. But not like this. So I would say once I got around the, when I was probably 30 miles east of Marshalltown on Highway 30 there, things started looking a little bit better, but still terrible. But now I came north before I got into the Ames and Des Moines area, and everything looks like this again. And that is flat, and some of it's turning brown, but even if it continues to grow there, I don't know how these guys are gonna be able to pick that up, or if they'll have to try, or I don't really know, but this is what it looks like here. I'm just kind of trying to update you guys on what's going on here. Everything along that whole draw there, that whole side hill I can see is laid over flat, just like this stuff behind me. What? I'm just shopping. Radcliffe, Iowa. Maybe 15 miles northwest of Zeering, where I was just at, where the damage was horrible. And here, it appears as though everything is intact. The trees are not down, the buildings are on the roofs, the corn is standing up for the most part. It's crazy just how quickly it flips the switch and it's done. We'll see as I go west here to I-35 and go north if there's more damage there, or if I'm pretty well out of the damage now. It's a really long path east to west, from Cedar Rapids at least to Ames, but you know, north to south, I can't say how far it really goes south, but at least in this area, it doesn't come very far north. I got back late last night and completely forgot to turn the camera on again during my drive. But to sum it up, once I got north of the Story City area, the wind damage really dropped off in a hurry, but there was definitely some drought damage up there. The closer I got to the Minnesota border, the better things looked. Once I crossed into Minnesota, everything north on 35 and then west of the Twin Cities up to where I'm at here looked pretty good. So there's definitely, as you saw, some extreme destruction in Iowa, but I think it's really that band going through the center there. There's some areas that are hurt by a lot of drought stress, but the entire state of Iowa is not completely destroyed. Unless you work for the USDA, then there's nothing left. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Keep her between the rows. Yep, keep her between the rows. Yep.